Hey, what's up? What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday evening. We have one more day until the weekend, but for a lot of entrepreneurs, the grind includes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday also. So it's just another day in the work week, another day to get out there and get it. Influence, inspire, do all that good stuff. Welcome to another episode of Ask Eric B Live. For those visiting the first time, my name is Eric B. Horn, and I'm a career and business strategist. I've written a couple of books. I do online training, speaking engagements, any and everything that you can think of to, further push out the message of my passion, which is career development, business development, and things of that nature. I love the overall concept. And the reason why I do what I do isn't for fame, isn't for all of the selfish reasons. At the end of the day, I've been given a gift for business and career strategy. And the main thing is to equip you with the necessary skills that you need to, get a job, get a business so you can maintain yourself and your family. It's all about providing. And, the best way that you can provide for yourself is to, equip yourself with the information that you need to grow on a consistent basis. So it's an honor to be in this position to help you guys. It's an honor to be a part of these live streams and things of that nature. I love what I do day in and day out, right? A couple of housekeeping rules. If you wanted to leave a question based off of, we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. If you want to leave a career question based off of the topic that I'll talk about today, feel free, and it'll pop up, and then I'll do my very best to answer it either on the live stream or if you will view this after the live stream, still put a comment below, and either myself or someone that's on my team will, get it to me, and then I can do my best to answer your question, right? So the topic that we're talking about, this is day 3 of a series on interview questions, right? I like to give people the ins and outs on why a company would ask you a certain question, the intent behind the question, how you should answer it, and most importantly, how you shouldn't. Because any question that a company will ask you, you better believe that there's a reason behind it. There's some type of strategic notion behind it. So just don't think that these questions are just, they're asking you these questions just for the sake of asking you. They want to kind of gauge you and see how you would answer. And usually these answers, plus a couple of other things, will help determine who will be the quote unquote right person. But with this series, I'm breaking down these questions because there's a lot of people who really don't know how to properly answer some interview questions. So this series is all about equipping you with what you need to answer these questions. So yes, the last session was specifically geared towards the question why you're searching for a job, right? Most companies ask that question to kind of gauge to discover the true reason, whether it's good or bad, the reason why you're looking for another opportunity, and to assess based off of your answer, would the risk of picking you up or hiring you, would that be a benefit, or would it be a risk, bringing you on and things of that nature. So if you didn't take a look at that live stream, it's either on my Facebook or either in my YouTube. So definitely take a look at that. If you have any questions, let me know, and then we can go from there. So we talked about the question of why you're searching for a job. So today's question, as you can see in the ticker below, what are your strengths and your weaknesses, right? So this question has so many motives behind it. It's crazy. But with you being the job seeker or the interviewee, you want to make sure that you have a clear understanding of why is this company asking me this question. And this question has been asked by so many people. You still have, so many employees, but you still have people that fail with this particular question. So today I'm gonna break it down, give you the nitty gritty on everything that's surrounding the question. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? The overall reason why employers are asking you this is for two reasons. On the strength side, they want to know what you're good at, right? And you can even go down a rabbit hole and talk about what some of the things that you are good at from a from a professional perspective. I've seen some people, they answer this question and they lean so much on the personal side that they don't touch on what are their strengths that can add to the position that's overall available, right? They put their foot in their mouths. And on the other side of the coin, when it comes to knowing their weaknesses, they want to know what you need to work on, or what you think you need to work on. Once again, they are assessing the overall risk of what you're good at and what you need to work at. So even before I dig deep into the actual reasoning behind this, it's a mindset shift when you answer this question, right? Specifically when it talks about your strengths. Okay, that's very straightforward. What are you good at? But even more importantly, what are you good at, both from a hard skill perspective and a soft skills perspective? So if anyone is looking at this live stream and really don't know what I talk about when I say hard skills, hard skills are the specific skills that you have in order to get the job done or to execute the job. As an example, if you are a web designer, so your hard skills may be coding, it may be even to a certain extent a little bit of graphic design. A hard skill would be WordPress, or I don't even think they still do just basic HTML. It's been so long since I've designed websites, so I'm out the loop. But the hard skills are the specific things that you must know to actually get the job done. But also, when you talk about your strengths, you also want to talk about the soft skills. And the soft skills could be your overall communication, your overall way to assess a problem, your problem solving skills, your teamwork, your overall motivation skills, and things of that nature. Because all of that plays a part in a position also. Because if you are an individual who are just strong on the hard skills, but the overall environment of the company is geared towards hard and soft, you're going to lose. You're not going to fit in with the overall culture, right? So when you think about your overall strengths, look at it from both of these perspectives. How do you identify both of these perspectives? Hard skills, very easy. Just look at your resume and look at the specific things that you have learned that you can apply to the actual job. Like I talked about before, if you are a web designer, or even if you are an accountant, some of the hard skills that you need to learn would maybe be QuickBooks or Quicken, even though they're one and the same, or the Quickens and whatever these accounting softwares that are out here, right? Because this is the stuff that's going to be required of you to get the job done. However, if you are a very analytical person and you think about stuff even before executing it, those are the type of things that could be an asset to the company, especially if the company is so used to just going and going and going, and the person's making mistakes. The reason being that the person is making mistakes because maybe they're not taking the time out to be a little bit more analytical on how they're going to go about solving this particular problem or working on this project. Those are some strengths that you would definitely need to highlight, both from a hard perspective and a soft perspective, that helps shapes you ultimately as a very good, or ultimately as the best candidate for the actual jobs. And another thing that a lot of people avoid doing when it comes to highlighting their strengths, both from a hard skill and from a hard skill and a soft perspective, they fail to tell stories. When you are in an interview, of course, you have to answer the question that's thrown at you. clearly. However, if you can intertwine stories based off of your past experiences on how you use your hard skills and your soft skills, how you highlighted them to execute a certain job and to get it done, that makes you even more of a marketable individual. You know, an employer loves stories. And if you can tie in your hard skills and, excuse me, you can tie in your strengths, that will be very good for you as opposed to just saying, I can do X, Y, and Z. Paint a picture for the employer. Let him or her know that based off of the strengths that you have, it can ultimately help with the company's bottom line. And that's something that even in the midst of, you know, finding an opportunity, you have to tell those stories. You have to put in a particular perspective that you they can visualize the strengths that you have, that's the overall values that you bring to the table, right? So as a quick recap, when it comes to your overall strengths, just don't focus on your hard skills. That's the things that you do to get the job done. Have a combination of both your hard skills and your soft skills. And as you have that combination, tell the employer certain stories or experiences that you've had where you've implemented both the hard skills and the soft skills and how both of them were strengths to help with their bottom line. Those are type of the stories that they will ultimately remember and then help you stand out even more while you're in the interview process. So now we talked about strengths. So now I want to lean on weaknesses. And as a quick point of reference, I really don't like the word weaknesses. Anytime that someone would ask me this question, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? I would politely correct them and say, I really don't like to talk about weaknesses, but areas of improvement. Now, areas of improvement, once again, is a mind shift because when you ultimately, when you think about weaknesses, it's ultimately a bad thing. People shift on the side of a weakness being bad as opposed to just shifting that mindset and saying it's not a weakness, it's an area of improvement, because the area of improvement is something that you want to continue to work on to get better. And that's the smoke screen. Most people think that, okay, this is a weakness, this is bad, but shifting that to areas of improvement, it even shifts the overall energy with you and the person that's interviewing you, because in their mind, you're thinking, okay, areas of improvement, that subconsciously shows that you're already good at it, but you want to get better. And what employer doesn't want their employees to consistently get better? You know, on a later date, I'll talk about how an employee can create their own performance plan and how they can stick with that throughout the year. So you're always increasing, you're always hitting your goals, and you're doing that independently. So that will be another video. But back to the areas of improvement. Once again, with the areas of improvement, it's given an interpretation of what you feel as an employer that you already do well, but you want to continue to improve. And taking a little bit of on the side of the strengths perspective, if you focus on certain stories and examples that you can use on something that you have done, which was okay, but you still have that overall hunger that you want to improve and get better with it, that shows to the employer that you are a humble individual. You're always looking to learn. And that can ultimately trickle over to you being a self-starter and you always want to get the job done and things of that nature. So just focusing, just tweaking the overall perception of that question can put you from a mindset where it's a bad thing that you'll talk about being a weakness, and it puts you in the forefront because it's something that you want to get better with. So when it comes to the other side of this question, don't feel bad about it. Focus on the things that you want to do to get better. What do you want to improve on? And that can be from a hard skills perspective and a soft skills perspective, because from a hard skills, actually the way training goes now, you can learn to better yourself in both facets. There are always books that you can read. There's always training that you can take. You can go on YouTube. You can do so much to still continue to gain information to get better at what you are doing. Because for me, one of the things that I improve on or do my best to improve on is my overall communication skills. And I'm not saying I don't know how to communicate with people, but people receive information in different ways. Whether it's a person may be more susceptible to absorbing information by reading, others may be by a face-to-face conversation or talking on the phone and things of that nature. So how I want to ultimately improve on my communication is knowing more about the person that I am talking to, so I can figure out the best way to communicate with them, then communicate with them in that aspect. So what I need to get across will be received a lot faster. And as the information is being received a lot faster, I can possibly get my job done and get things accomplished more based off of how I switch up my methods of communication based off of the person that I'm talking to, right? So that can be an example of how I can talk about an area of improvement. I know how to communicate, but I'm always striving and moving in the right direction to figure out how I can communicate more to get stuff done a lot faster, thus, increasing what that bottom line may be and getting to the goal a lot faster, right? So like I said, I don't want to keep you guys because we're about to go into to 17 minutes. Just as a recap, once again, when someone or an employer will ask you the question, and they will ask you this, what are their strengths and your weaknesses? When it comes to the strengths perspective, talk about both your hard skills and your soft skills, but also merge that into an overall story on how your experiences based off of these particular strengths help with a certain goal, help with a certain department, help with a certain company's bottom line, because those stories will help stick on the wall when it comes to the employer, because they'll remember those overall stories as opposed to what the hard skills are and what the soft skills are. It will never fail that you tie those overall stories into it. And on the other side, when it comes to weaknesses, moving forward, do not look at that question and that word weakness as a bad thing. In your mind, you want to shift it to an area of improvement. And if you have to, tell the employer, the certain areas that I want to improve on when it comes to my career would be X, Y, and Z. And if you strategically, it's kind of hard for me to say that word, but as long as you strategically shift that mindset instead of looking at it as weakness as a bad thing to areas of improvement, you'll be able to, in a confident manner, talk about ways and the things that you want to do to improve on the things that you already do good, right? So if you guys right now, what I'm going to do is leave it open for anyone that had a question or a particular comment based off of the question, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, right? This isn't if you word it in the right way, it can be an easy question to answer. However, if you don't go into it with, just the information that I've given you, you're going to end up giving the wrong answers. And then giving the wrong answers when it comes to an interview will never help you, but more it will hurt you, especially when it comes to the overall opportunity that you want. So, like I said, I want to leave it open right now for anyone that had a question, comment, concern based off of this particular question. And as I'm waiting, if anyone does have a question, on the side note, if you are looking at the video, at a further date, feel free to comment below and we'll get that overall conversation started. Or, even if you don't have a question, because I do see there's some people on, comment in the comment box. Let me know who you are, where you from, and things of that nature. This isn't just a one-sided conversation where I just give you information. The main goal of this is to interact with people. Let me know that what I'm saying does make sense, or if it doesn't make sense, or whatever the case may be. I want to do this for you guys and get this information out so you can, equip yourself with what you need to win in your career, right? No pressure. If you don't want to make a comment, that's fine, because I don't want to put anybody under the gun also, right? No? Okay, so we're rounding the 20-minute mark, and I kind of like to keep it at 20 minutes. So thank you guys for your time, your effort, and your energy again. Join me tomorrow for our next installment. And this is going to be a biggie because a lot of people fail to answer this question the proper way. And it's so easy just to gain this information. So today we talked about strengths and weaknesses. So tomorrow the question will be, tell me what you know about the company. And this is something that so many people fail on doing because they don't do the necessary research. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I have people get in front of me all the time. And the first question that I ask them is, okay, so tell me what you know about the company. So tomorrow, I'm going to break down the ins and outs of this question, what you should be researching, and what information that you should have and tell the actual employer so they have the best understanding that you know a substantial amount about the overall company. And it's not, hard information to find. It's right in front of you, right in front of your computer or right in front of your phone. You just have to, dig deep and figure it out. So it is 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. So I'm about to go upstairs and eat. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave it in the comment box and I will reach out to you and then we'll go from there. Once again, this is Eric B. Horn and thank you for your time. And I'll see you on the next Ask Eric B live session. Have a good one, guys.